So I'm gonna record the topic we were talking about. So you said you were sad that she lost the ability to visit your daughter, right? That's funny. It came to focus because you were listening to a
And
song.
it triggered that emotion.
And how are you handling it now?
And I'm not a very, I don't like to talk about my feelings or what I go through. I'm a very reserved person, very selective to people that I can open up to. So in that aspect, I feel like I do all right because it's true. Like sometimes something will trigger it, and I'll maybe be a little stressed for a couple minutes, but then like I'll stay positive, and obviously she'll give me some good wise words, and I'll hang in there. So
That's
I
very
do
good.
all right.
So the energy I'm working with each year, like now I pick an energy to work with. This year, the energy I'm working with, she is a behavior. Like she resets the behavior. Her name is Vaishnavi. Vaishnavi means she's on the lineage of people who have the intention of applying the science of spirituality. Sometimes, it is very difficult when you apply the higher truth, how to do with day-to-day truth. You know the highest intention. Like I do it with my husband too. I know out of love I can forgive him anything.
Right,
But sometimes for the world you have to do it like a certain
right,
way.
right,
So essentially the separation is just for the world.
right.
But inside my heart I have to take that stance because knowing this is something
It's still, yeah, it's
I have
still,
to
yeah,
go through the
yeah,
process,
right.
So and I do that, and I kind of think he does that same with me. So sometimes it does come out a little harsh,
Mm-hmm.
but I would have to just pick and choose how I speak, and that's the energy I'm working with this year.
Right,
And this whole energy pattern falls into this realm of creating sweet memory.
right,
That's my highest intention,
right.
to create sweet memories in people.
Positive
So
thoughts.
why because positive doesn't necessarily, see, positive is duality, right? Positive or negative, sometimes even negative ends up being in the long run good.
Right,
So yesterday I was sharing like in my spiritual group, I keep writing to them again and again because they didn't allow me to host that space to do spiritual meditation, and it personally doesn't affect me seriously. I have access to my teacher all the time
right,
because I signed up for a specific course called inner associate degree program in science of inner awakening. It's like a fake I mean, I shouldn't say like it's like a title he gives for the world, but essentially it allows me to have one-to-one
right,
conference with him.
right.
So I shouldn't have used that word fake because it's like I didn't join thinking I'm going to get degree program. That's what
Right.
I meant. I meant like
It's for
the
yourself.
purpose
Right,
is not for that I joined. I
right.
just wanted to have
Wanted-
one-to-one
Right.
contact with them. So for me personally, I'm like achieving all my goals,
Right.
but the world doesn't know it, right? So and my teacher knows it because every day I'll tag him and I'll post. But yesterday, right? So he says will ferociousness is very important because he says that's the only way you can break the time portal. See what it is that time with your daughter is for the world lost, right? That's the way you perceive it.
Right.
But remember, it's a portal. It will come back to you. The one thing I knew is in India when I left, I was a divorcee in India. In India, it's not like a nice thing because it's like a very new age thing. But what happened at that point when I left India when I was 27 years old, I feel I'm reliving my 27 for life.
Right.
Because what happened is that portal in the time opened and I became ageless.
Right.
Because it
That's
literally
a good
is
way
like
to see it. Yeah.
so that's the way I think of time. I think time is the essence of what it is that
You may
you
lose
hold.
here, but you can get.
Yes, because my youth is forever.
Right.
See here, I am literally 27 every day.
Yeah,
Like there is
go.
no stopping me.
Right.
So to go back to that, so this guy, right, writes like I'm gonna just read it out just for the record because like I feel it's so funny. So he says, I am available to discuss again why you won't be permitted to host a two-way program or any other group gathering as a rep of our Sangha. We had this discussion several times already. However, feel free to be participating as an individual devotee of any of our one-way forums. So that's his perception,
Right.
because I have way more than what I'm doing. But the tone of his voice suggests as though I this fine now.
Yeah.
Don't bring it up again, right? But whereas my teacher keeps saying, work through it, don't give up. So I'm like saying, why is that one person is saying this way and the other person? In the past, it used to hurt me because it reminded me of the time I lost jobs. So then my teacher says it's because you need to complete that phase. What is happening in the spiritual organization is happening in the real world. If you don't know how to get along with your colleagues here, you would have the same problem.
Right.
So for his sake, I'm persisting. But then when I started working on my own with my sweet memory, like the mother energy, I am a clairvoyant, so I get messages another way. She told me, like in her essence, the sweet memory creation, there is a specific prayer we pray. Okay, it was amazing. So the whole thing fell into me, and it's a ancient tradition. Like I said, agamas or application of these higher science.
Right.
The science are in the past taught with transmitting of knowledge. My teacher calls it download, like how you download a software.
Downloading up, yeah.
So that sometimes the higher beings download it into you, and when they call it Maya, Maya means illusion, like matrix. So when you come across the right person, they lift the curtain. So you unlearn what you have been programmed. That's all.
That's
So when you think of wisdom that way, there is really nothing out there,
right.
right? Like
Right.
it's amazing. So it's a perception of not having something that
Right.
creates me pain, rather than. So he says this in a very beautiful way, which will kind of relate to you. Is he says the reason you pray again and again and again, you feel like you're having a tough time, is because when you come across it, you take care of it much more. Uh, what is called sacredness. So the prayer is for you to understand how important for
That
it,
is, yes.
so that when you come across it, you would honor it better.
Cherish.
So I kind of was amazed with the way he said it. Felt so sweet,
Right. And it hit. That's why it
Yes,
hit.
it hit because it kind of like it's like a river that's flowing and suddenly it falls in, and like that whole hole gets filled,
Right. Right.
But the other thing I'm also learning about Siddha Lakshmi, they were praying this prayer. It's an ancient prayer, and it's so amazing. I'll play the song for you if you want. So in this new girl, she made it into a new age prayer, like how choir they used to sing.
Yeah.
So this girl has made it into a prayer. I mean, it starts with this guy saying the ultimate source. He's talking to the other guy. It's almost like they were relating to each other about this baby girl of his. He says, my baby girl, she always plays in my head, and I think of her constantly. And he says to him, it almost looks like they were playing a video game. That's the way I heard it. So he says, you know what she does? The first day she gets into the breathing space of this being, because all of us as human
Right.
beings
Energy.
are considered as they call us like a portal.
Right.
They are a portal, a visionary for them
Right.
to play through our thinking. Okay, so this being gets into our breathing space. This is the baby girl of his,
Mm-hmm.
and remember, it's about sweet memory. Okay,
Right.
you understand?
Yes.
So that's why. So it makes sense. So on the first day, she is 3 eyes. She has 3 eyes. So she gives out the vision, right? Like so, you get an intuition, like how he said you heard the song, so it gave the is vision, right? On the second day, and this all is lunar cycle. So the first day of lunar cycle, she becomes the trident, like three energy,
Right.
3 eyes, and then the second day she becomes Vaishnavi, which is what I'm working with, because this year I entered a project on the day. Nowadays I'm paying attention to which day of lunar cycle it is. So the second day, she becomes the behavior, what is the behavior that's going to achieve that vision? Okay. So essentially, it's to understand what is my priority.
Right.
And the third day, she gets into the heart center. So, you giving it, so much pureness, sweetness, and memory, and then the love and acceptance of that space. And then the fourth day, she becomes beautiful with this vision, right? And then the fifth day, the software programmer falls in love with her. And let's think of it as a Pikachu, right? She becomes a Pikachu on the fourth day. I'm just saying,
Right,
like,
right.
Pikachu,
I
because
know, yeah.
my kids love the Pikachu, but you can pick anything. But she becomes that sweetest thing that this person has ever encountered. So it goes to the software guy, okay, who has to develop the software based on what he's seen so far. So the software guy falls in love with this idea. Okay. So then on the sixth day, he creates the unit of that vision. Okay. So now it's in another person's hand. So on the seventh day, she becomes able to cure our illnesses. Let's say, like, something is bothering, disease is still there, disease of the thought form is still there, so that is pruned off. So it's like, so now it's set to go further.
Right.
So on the eighth day, it becomes grantor of the wish. Whatever wish the breathing state entered, there is one thing you can achieve, that through the unity, the pureness of the unity, which happened on the sixth day. So on the ninth day, which is today is Navami, ninth day, it becomes Kanda Trishula, means there is an energy that flows from our heart center. They call it the pure bliss space, and it goes and unfolds on it's almost looking like paratonsillar face, like the unfolding. And the tongue flips out and it speaks, declares, this is what I want for this program. Okay. Tomorrow is Deva Devata. So they go to the board meeting tomorrow, and everybody sits down and says, you know what? I'm going to use your name. Jonathan, he wants to really achieve to be able to sit with his daughter again. Okay, so we're going to discuss that tomorrow in board meeting in the higher levels. And then on 11th day, Ekadashi becomes sweetest memory. Sweetest memory, because they want to create a memory of when it's going to happen. You're going to give a perfect vision of how you need to do it. And on the 12th day, the unity of the purity of this project will be coming as a powerful force that's going to open up a portal for you. Let's say you are being distracted and not keeping focus on your priority, and you keep distracted. 13th day, the ultimate source, his name is Shiv. Shiv means life force. Shava means death. So whatever you're not paying attention to will be killed from you. Whatever energy you're putting to life will. So that will be focused. They call it bull-headed. Like, you look in the middle of the bull and focus, and he will take over. On the 14th day, you will be given the ability to go forward. And then 15th day, lunar, or full moon or new moon, accordingly. Like, if it is a full moon, it will be in the brain center, you get an intuition, vision, and stuff. If it is the new moon, it will be heart center. Like, you will get like a gist of what it is that you need to feel and work towards. So if by chance we haven't achieved it, again the breathing space starts. So however many cycles it takes, if your intention says pure, it will come back. And so for you, the prayer is about every, let's say, if you're going to track it by full moon, you're going to say how many moons you waited. Like, I waited, or how many, like, 1,000 miles I walked, like how many miles you need to walk. So you can do Fitbit and say, okay. So I feel the ancients did it in such a way that is so sweet. Like, I sometimes, they say, in Zen masters used to say it takes 500 years of prayer and meditation for two people to cross the boards at the same time. There is really no coincidence. So I feel her being your daughter, her being in your life, it's worth the wait, because time is just a portal. And the only way to break it is by will ferocious. That's how persistence, that's how. And he says even the big mountains mended when the river kept flowing. Right. So be the river. Never ever be. If the banks can be crowded and stuff, but you can keep dripping, create a dam, and it will flow. So that I feel.
That's a good way of seeing it.
Yes.
That's what they say. Whatever you want to be, you always got to keep in mind, and it'll manifest. That's right.
And now that your heart had shed the tears, that's another thing mentioned there, right? Every tear drop you shed, I'm going to wipe it one by one, right? Isn't that how the Christ said that, like, I feel everything is energy.
Right.
What you're shedding, nobody is like going to let it go.
Right.
You're
Right.
going to get